Is this heaven?
No, it's a podcast. Welcome to the Field of Geeks podcast.
Welcome to episode 137 of the Field of Geeks podcast. I'm Josh.
I'm Steve.
How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Good. It's a stormy day today, so hopefully we don't lose power.
Right.
It kind of sets the mood for the Joker movie.
Right.
We'll be talking about later.
Little bleak.
Yes. Emo. Yeah, other than that, yeah, pretty good. Got a lot of great things to talk about. We've been away for a little bit, but the news builds up when you do that.
Yeah.
So it's very helpful. I'm going to shock you with something. Might outrage a lot of people, so, buckle up. Buckle up.
Sit tight.
Martin Scorsese saying the MCU is not cinema. I'll let you scream. Anyone listening, scream. Okay.
Yeah, there we go. That's good.
What's your thoughts, Steve?
So...
He sucks, right? Screw him.
That guy, I'm telling you. Here's the controversy, and here's where you and I probably won't agree as much as... And that's okay. But... I don't disagree.
Right.
I mean, I really don't. They're events, the Marvel movies. And, the Scorsese movie is more of a psychological type piece that will make you think and will make you kind of reflect back. And, Marvel movies do that to a degree, but they also aren't... They're not intellectual food.
Right. They have like it sprinkles on, but it doesn't absorb into the material too much.
Right.
They don't touch on it.
Right. And that's a great way to put it too. It's the Parmesan cheese on top of the pizza for Marvel.
Yes.
Where the entire pizza is that for a Scorsese film typically.
And they say, unlike Olive Garden, they say, there you go.
Right.
You can't just say, keep coming.
Right. And so... And that's not to say that Marvel movies are bad in any way, shape, or form. I love those movies. I mean, they're phenomenal, and obviously they're a lot of fun. But he had some pretty pointed comments, and I don't know. I don't really disagree with him, but
I don't entirely. No,
yeah.
I see his points. His complaint was to him they don't convey a lot of emotion or psychological experiences.
Right.
The Bucky thing's probably you could say the Starks in Civil War, like
Winter Soldier was the closest to me.
Yeah.
To something that, could feel like that.
Sure.
Everything else, everybody's, Tony Stark died, come on.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm the only one that doesn't really give a rip about Tony Stark.
Right.
But
yeah.
I mean,
he started like all the problems pretty much.
Well, in Robert Downey Jr., he's great.
He is great.
But when the focus becomes always around him,
yeah,
that's a little self-serving.
Yeah,
so.
I totally understand that. Some of the MCU filmmakers, probably because they were obligated, they had to say something. But James Gunn, of course, said, he was outraged when people picketed The Last Temptation of Christ back in the day. Mm-hmm. And he's saddened to see that his films are being judged. But to be fair, Scorsese he said, I don't see them. I tried.
Yeah.
So he probably hasn't even seen Gunn's films.
Right, exactly.
That's the other thing. Where did he start? Did he start with Thor the Lost World? Some of the ones that weren't the greatest?
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So who knows, but...
I do agree, though. Like, it's kind of a fair criticism if he's actually seen every film, but it's Martin Scorsese. I don't think he's got a lot of time devoted to that, and I do see his point,
Well, and even though he hasn't seen them, I've seen them.
Yeah.
He's not wrong.
Right. Yeah. No, I totally understand that. He's got a good point.
But, I mean, I think the thing that he doesn't realize when he makes comments like that is how rabid people's reactions are. People sometimes.
Take it like,
right.
It's a attack on nerd culture.
This is a personal affront to me. Yeah. It's like, stop it.
I do understand. I understand all sides, really. But, yeah, you could say, to me, DC have tried to put a lot more stakes in their films. Not all of them, but when they were starting out with the shared universe.
Yeah.
I think they really try to up the stakes, and people didn't like a lot of that. So now you get kind of the safer.
Well,
options.
yeah, we've been force-fed comedy superhero movies,
Mhm.
and so that's all people want.
Right. Yeah.
And that's not, I don't know. It's
you-
lazy.
Yeah, it takes you out of it a little bit. Definitely not a comedy. The Irishman, which is Scorsese's newest film,
Right.
that'll be on Netflix November 27th, which they did use, I think, the same technology the MCU films use with de-aging actors.
Really?
So that's kind of ironic, isn't it?
I'm just so against that. I don't like that.
I mean, it's gotten a lot better. I don't see too many issues with it when it's used properly, I guess, but I'm not
It's
really...
just, as long as it looks okay.
Yeah.
But I still haven't seen it where it looks like 1,000% fluid.
Right.
Like that very first time we saw it with Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Look at somebody just ironed his face. I mean, it was just...
Iron Man.
Yeah, right.
Michael Douglas, though, that one kind of scared me how good that was to me. The Ant-Man.
That one was way better than the Tony Stark one. Yeah. So, I mean, obviously they're making improvements, as you say. So
far I've seen the previews of The Irishman, and it does not look like they de-aged De Niro 30 years to me. I don't know. They showed him like young as a soldier, and it's like, kind of looks fake.
Yeah.
You recall when they first used de-aging, like it was like highly publicized.
Oh yeah,
X-Men Last Stand, I think.
That's right.
That's how I remember it, with Xavier and Charles.
Yeah, it's
with a cheaper budget for it, you get the X-Men Wolverine, Charles Xavier at the end. Holy crap. That was like a toy.
Yeah, it's it's funny how you get what you pay for with.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Funny thing is, I did happen to see remember that movie got bootlegged,
right?
So you actually got to see a lot of things without the special effects.
Yeah.
So I actually saw Patrick Stewart at the end, looking like Patrick Stewart at current time,
doing that whole yeah.
And then you get the plastic Ken doll skin over him for the actual movie. Hey, you! Yes, I'm talking to you. Thanks for listening to Field of Geeks podcast. I'd like to remind you to please check us out on all social media and most streaming and download platforms. fieldofgeeks.com. Back to the show. Speaking of the MCU, Spider-Man is back again, which is, I think, exciting. Just because I'd like them to finish out their third film, which is what they're going to be doing. Apparently, Tom Holland had something to do with it. He reached out to Bob Iger, Disney's CEO, and just expressed his love for the character and the importance it has on people and the MCU. And so Iger decided to make a deal with Sony no matter what, and that's what they've done. So at least one more solo film and then one more appearance in an MCU film. So they're saying Kevin Feige is planning his exit, Spider-Man's exit currently. What are your thoughts on that?
I never thought he would be gone. The whole time during this whole dispute, and I don't remember who I said it to. I don't know if it was in our group chat. I just remember when it first happened, I was talking to somebody and I'm like, it's all for, this is just getting people's panties in a bunch. It's creating great hype,
outrage.
Yeah.
Death threats.
Yeah. And so, and by doing that, you keep the characters' names on people's lips and, people are talking about it. And when someone's talking about it, that's publicity. And there was no way, in my opinion, that it wasn't going to be back in, so I don't know.
Well, and it just happened to be coming out on Blu-ray, Spider-Man Far From Home.
Right.
So
yeah, what a crazy timing situation.
Yeah,
there.
Right? Yeah. I do kind of see it as, the whole time they were in bed together and they're just like, let's just play with these people.
Yeah, let's throw out this needle.
Yeah.
And just watch who steps on it.
Oh my God.
Everybody.
Sony was like, wow, people actually want us to make a film without the MCU. Like, that's something to think about.
Exactly.
Who knows?
But, I am glad it's, still there.
Yeah, I just at least finish out the third film because that usually is the most jarring of a trilogy.
Yeah.
Because you usually get a different director, a different look. I hate that. I'd like them to just finish out what they set up. And John Watts, he did the first two Spider-Man films, and they just have a look to them and a vibe that I just hate for that to be broken with the third one. And
exactly.
They have so much of the MCU attached to the Spider-Man that if you took that away, I don't know how they could recover, or, you know,
Right.
like you can't use Happy Hogan probably.
Yeah.
Like nothing really. No Stark Tower.
No Stark Tower.
Yeah. I would say it's safe to say they kind of knew all along they were going to make up, or maybe they just never broke up. They just were like,
Right.
let's just play with these guys and see what happens. Because, yeah, when that broke, holy shit.
Oh,
This is
yeah.
ridiculous. I was probably one of them. Yeah, I was. Yeah.
I'm just so cynical, though. I saw it and I'm like, whatever. I mean, I just didn't.
I'm not falling for that. Yeah, there's a new deal. Disney will get 25% profit again, along with merch rights. So they'll be fine.
Yeah.
You're not getting their 50-50.
I'm pretty sure they'll do okay.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Another pool of money for
Another
Mr. Iger. But yeah, so far the third film should release July 16th, 2021.
Yeah.
Not crazy.
Time's flying.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, Star Wars is out right around the corner.
I know.
Crazy.
Well, speaking of Star Wars, Kevin Feige looks like he might be actually doing a film for the next run.
That's intriguing.
Yeah.
I don't know what the plans are past this next movie for like characters like Rey or Finn.
Mm-hmm.
I'd hate to see them not be utilized again at some point.
Sure.
Because I think they've created some really cool characters, like the films or not. I mean, Finn's a pretty awesome character.
Yeah. A nice arc to him.
Yeah, and Rey's great, and Poe Dameron is really cool and not as explored as maybe you might like to see. He had more in the last film, but yeah, I just wonder what direction that's going to look like. So I'm really excited just to kind of sit back and wait for it to happen.
You excited about Palpatine for the new one?
I am.
Yeah.
I'm super excited for this next one. Yeah. I mean, I was excited for all of them.
Sure. A lot more writing on it, though, sadly, I think. Just because Solo and the power of everyone online.
Right.
I think they really can manipulate the box office. And I think China, it got pulled out early in China. And that, never happened. So,
yeah.
I don't know. It looks great.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe it's 2 months away.
Yeah.
Much.
Only a couple months out, and
it's finally here.
So I can't wait. I'm glad Mark Hamill's still attached to it and stuff.
Sure.
He's still doing his little Force Ghost action probably. But
yeah, right.
It's still awesome that
Well, that's something they haven't
it.
really fully explained. I'm sure in the fan fiction they definitely have, but it's like the body goes.
Right.
So can't the body come back? Now he'll probably be in his birthday suit when he comes back. That'd be distracting.
Right, no kidding. Yeah, they definitely.
Yeah, it's just kind of not really
Yeah, the ghosts themselves are all wearing their nice clothes.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Obi-Wan in the first Star Wars tells Vader, "You strike me down, I'll become more powerful than you can imagine."
Exactly.
It doesn't really follow through with that. He just appears to Luke here and there.
Right.
He doesn't physically grab Luke or anything. I guess he guides him, but
yeah.
Turn off your tracking computer. We can destroy this thing.
Yeah.
That's it? Yeah.
Right.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Well, that's just it. I mean, there's been quote unquote silliness all throughout the trilogies.
Mm-hmm.
And so when people, I don't know, just watch them get up in arms is.
I just bring him back. Screw it. There's so much openness with this whole concept.
Right.
Bring him back.
It's science fiction.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and, to go back to what Scorsese said, and we got Kevin Feige now getting into the Star Wars universe. Yeah, I think it could really use the MCU formula.
Yeah.
Because that's what these movies are supposed to be. They're not really supposed to be something like Oscar attention.
Right,
worthy,
exactly.
So I think that's what they need to do and expand it. That's the problem. The universe isn't expanded enough. It's really concealed, and I'm tired of the Death Star threat. I really hope we have no Death Stars in this third one of the new trilogy. It's just
all these planet
so many
killers,
other stories,
right?
And there are that exist in fan fiction,
and how many of these do we need before someone realizes I'm not sure this is going to work in the future?
Right,
I mean, what's that board meeting in the Empire look like?
Right. Closest we got was the first Star Wars movie when Vader choked the dude out.
Yeah,
there's a lot of stuff they could explore, and they kind of just go back for the hits.
Yeah,
and I think after a while, it's is that all you got?
Right. It becomes a miss.
Right.
Exactly.
The Mandalorian looks really refreshing, though.
Yeah.
That's going to be exciting. That comes out November 12th, the same day Disney Plus drops. Yeah, we were just talking before the show.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten Plus yet, but I imagine once it launches, it's going to be chaos.
Oh, man.
Like, you won't probably be able to watch something without it skipping or
right.
buffing or whatever.
Yeah, it'll be, buffering for 20 straight minutes. And I'm sure I'll get it opening day, but, I'll probably wait a few days to watch things. And
perhaps they have a lot of servers ready to go.
I hope so.
Man, it's going to be a huge launch.
Yeah.
I can't imagine. But yeah, I haven't, I've kind of lightly looked into getting it. But yeah, it's not very user friendly, it seems. Like, it doesn't say buy here. It just talks about it. So maybe on the 12th, it's going to go live like Skynet. And
right.
then you can subscribe to it.
There we go.
But yeah, I think Kevin Feige being a part of that is, it's really
it's intriguing.
Yeah, it is.
No question.
I do wish that he would take his expertise to Star Trek, because he, I think, is mostly a Star Trek fan.
Yeah.
Although this press release says he's a Star Wars fan. Yeah.
Of course.
Probably like me.
Right.
I like Star Wars.
Yeah, I like them both,
Star Trek's
too.
my first love, and
right.
that could really use his attention, I think. We'll see. But, he's still got many years left. He's a young man.
He really, yeah.
He'll be all right.
Yeah, and he's
Star Trek will come.
He's very talented. I'm excited to see what he brings to the table.
Well, and he's learned. That's why he's so important, because the 2000s, they had a lot of films.
Yeah,
that he was a part of, and he figured out what worked and what didn't work. And I think that was a concern about the whole Sony thing, because that kind of, I think when people think of Sony, they think of the old way,
right?
And some appreciate it still, like Venom.
Mm-hmm.
Movies like that, X-Men, Dark Phoenix, which isn't Sony, but the X-Men films, that's an old way of telling a comic book story.
Right.
It's not popular right now. Venom did make a lot of money.
Yeah, it did. And it's got a sequel, right?
Yeah.
So
Andy Serkis will direct it.
Yeah.
It's going to have a lot more star power, I believe. Even though Tom Hardy, he made that film.
Oh, yeah.
His commitment to the character, and who knows if he may have ad-libbed some stuff, knowing him. But yeah, I think it's pretty exciting. I think Star Wars could definitely use his expertise. And I think a lot of people thought when Disney bought Star Wars, it was going to be as big as the MCU.
Yeah.
Even though it's its own thing. But just, I think universe building wise, it was going to be...
Right.
And it's gotten a little big, but they've kind of keep tying it into things we've already seen. And, it's just like... Let's see something new.
Right.
The Mandalorian looks amazing. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, and just even the little snippets we've seen.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, come on.
It looks really cool.
It's literally mouth-watering. That show looks just amazing.
It's like the Western concept.
Exactly. With the Star Wars universe. It's going to be great.
The Batman, there's been some casting news on that. The Matt Reeves trilogy they're working on currently.
Mm-hmm.
Jonah Hill has been rumored to be up for the Riddler. They didn't really say Penguin, which, like I said before the show, we were talking about these topics. I'm not trying to fat shame, but he's a heavier guy, and his acting talent, I think, would really be utilized with the Penguin, just because of the physicality, that character.
Yeah, and the Penguin, he's such a douchey character.
Yeah.
It might make perfect sense.
Right. Yeah. Well, for those who don't know, Steve pretty much doesn't like any Jonah Hill character.
I'm not a big fan of Jonah Hill. And then to come on board and, say I want twice the money that Pattinson's making.
Yeah, when I heard that, I'm like, we don't need him.
Yeah, get him out of here.
It's like, just cast an unknown.
Go be some quirky, smart guy who feels bullied in his movie, and just, you're stupid.
Do you think it's because he maybe doesn't want the part? It's just kind of like it's been offered, and he's like, let me play with these guys a little bit. I want double.
And so he's just trying to work himself out of that market?
I guess so.
If so, I'll give him some credit, because I don't want to see him in a Batman film.
Right. Yeah. Make it impossible, Jonah.
Yeah.
And
I want $75 million. So, I don't know.
And Robert Pattinson, I mean, he's in the independent market now, but he... big name with the Twilight films, like him or not. I don't like him. But...
Yeah, and I don't know that he commands that kind of money.
No, he doesn't.
I can see a bigger name coming in as a villain and making a little bit more.
True. Yeah,
I can see it. I have no problem with that. But just the arrogance of kind of coming in like that.
Right. It's the Nicholson deal.
It leaves a bad taste in your mouth. Film.
Right. Yeah. He gets the top billing before
Yeah.
And I think actually Schwarzenegger got top billing before Clooney, which is rightfully so because Clooney wasn't. Well,
Yeah,
shit.
he wasn't George Clooney at
Right.
the time.
No.
I mean, he was
trying to be
George
a
Clooney,
movie
but-
star.
Right.
And yeah, got his head fixed. Early Clooney, for those who need to check this out, he bobbles his head like all the time.
Yeah.
He got it fixed.
Yeah.
And then it was all good after
yeah,
that.
he got a good chiropractor, I think.
Yeah, I guess
he was
so.
able to afford
I'm
one
like,
after.
what's with the bobbing head, George? Stop it. Drive me nuts. But another good casting. Well, I think Jonah Hill would be a good choice.
Yeah.
Just the whole money thing, though, I would be like, no, don't want you that bad enough. We'll get an unknown.
Yeah.
I wish they could really find actors who really love the character, Batman, the universe that they're working in. I think they'll have more passion for the project. And the money isn't really, I mean, they need to get paid, but
right.
they'll definitely take a cut just so they can be part of it, you know?
Yeah.
But Jeffrey Wright has been rumored to play Commissioner Gordon. So he's played Felix Leiter in the Daniel Craig films, Westworld he's been in a ton of films, really. Great actor. Don't really have a problem with him as Gordon. I think that's pretty cool. I liked what's his face who played Gordon in Justice League.
Yeah.
What's his name?
J.
J. Jonah Jameson.
What is that actor's name?
I know.
J.K. Simmons.
I don't remember his name,
It
but
escapes me.
yeah, he was good.
Yeah, I liked him. I thought they could definitely use him, but I know that this Batman is a separate thing. So
I love that he's been two very cool supporting characters in each universe.
yeah,
You know, Gordon and J. Jonah Jameson.
right,
you know,
right, and
that's pretty cool. He can say that.
right. I don't think this is kind of like a side topic, but did you like his new look in the Homecoming or Far From Home, or did you prefer the old one?
I preferred the old one.
I do too. It's more iconic.
Right.
It serves the comic book.
The baldness was a little off-putting.
Yeah, I thought so too.
But
or go all bald.
Just because it was him, though,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, great.
Yeah,
I don't care. You know, I'll get past it just to hear him
sure.
because I love him as an actor, even
Yeah.
though I don't know his name. Sorry.
I know. Should know.
Right.
I'll insert it in the show.
J.K. Simmons.
Right. There we go. Yeah. Well, his name is.
J.K. Simmons.
Right. And then we'll.
Aha.
Little Jeopardy theme and poof.
Just do a straight voice.
Right.
The correction.
Elevator music again.
Yeah, exactly. Are you excited about the Batman?
I am. I'm very excited. I mean, I enjoyed Affleck in the role.
I did too.
So I mean, it's it is what it is. But I think Pattinson. I think he's going to bring an edge to it.
Sure.
And I'm excited for that.
The whole rumor mill started long ago before he was officially cast, and I think that kind of helped not be such a shock.
Right.
I dug it. There was a lot of fan art done, and I was like, I could see him doing that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think he's a terrible actor. I
don't think so either.
Stuff.
I mean, you can't judge a person just by a project that they've done.
Right, and a paycheck.
Right. And Twilight was a project.
Yes.
And millions of teenage girls loved Twilight.
Right. Which are now in their 20s,
it's
probably.
Clearly
so.
not a movie that was meant for me.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Not every movie has to be made for me. So, good for him for making a little scratch on it. But
Sure.
that doesn't mean every movie he's in, he sparkles and is an emo little wuss. So,
Right.
we all need to settle down.
There's a cool meme out there or something. It's like the Edward character with, is it Bella or something?
Yeah.
They're like in the woods and Blade's in the background. It's like vampire hunting season.
That's right.
I'm like, oh, give me that movie. They need to do that movie. Oh, it'd be so great.
That would be incredible.
That would be awesome. But yeah, the Batman, it's going to be a standalone trilogy. And speaking of standalone, Joker, that just came out. Definitely review it soon here. But of course, just inform everyone, there's violence warnings about this film. Don't take your kids to it. I'll agree to that. Don't take your kids to it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's not really a popcorn movie. It's
No.
not an endgame movie, let's say.
Yeah.
But it's basically because the tone is so serious with the violence. It's not as violent as a Deadpool film or
Right.
or Endgame even. I guess you could. Well, maybe not Endgame, but it's just the tone.
It's the tone, and even past the violence, it's the psychological aspect that kids just aren't going to understand. Those are going to be some uncomfortable conversations for parents.
Yes.
You know, to even past the violence, you know, well, why is he acting this way? And why, you know, those are, but again, at the same time too, that's, in my opinion, kind of what the film is telling us.
Right.
You know, the unspoken language of mental illness.
Well, you know, and all this violence warnings really coming from the Aurora Theater shootings back in 2012, because the nut job supposedly said he was Joker. Although I did read saying that, I guess he never said that, but it's forever attached to, and the Joker wasn't even in that film. The Dark Knight Rises was the film.
Yeah.
It wasn't even in that film. That was a midnight screening, I believe, and I happened to be at a midnight screening here.
Yeah.
And they were the same theater chain, I think. And so one of my friends actually called me. He's like, are you all right? I'm like, yeah, that's in, you know, Colorado.
That's out of town.
Yeah, thankfully. But
yeah, no kidding.
It made you think afterwards, after all that happened, like, you are vulnerable. You're in a theater. There's no security, no cops, none of that.
I know people that are scared to go to the theater just because of those kinds of stories.
Yeah.
You know, and is that a little irrational? Maybe. But at the same time, I mean, that's what happens.
Do you recall your first time back to the theater after all that happened? Were you a little nervous to go? Or?
No, I'm just praying it happens when I'm there. No, I'm just kidding. None of that stuff stops me.
Yeah.
I just, you can't let it.
It didn't stop me. It just, there just happened to be like really nothing out I wanted to see. But when I did go finally, it was in the back of my mind, but it wasn't like, I was like, oh my God. But I did look for the exits. And,
there you go.
And I definitely will, shut a door if someone props it open and leaves. Like, no, not happening. It's sad that has to be threatened. That luxury of, you know, going out of your home to see.
Well, and enjoying yourself, and you know, it's supposed to be a fun experience. You know, it's.
Well, even with Terrorist Acts, I was at Flicks 2 years ago, maybe, and this guy next to me, he was sitting in one of those seats they have where it's not really a seat. It's just kind of like, we got to just fit someone in here.
Oh, yeah.
And they got like a little tray, you know?
Yeah.
And he was pretty normal throughout the movie, but he left all of a sudden, and there was a backpack. And I was sitting right next to it. I'm like, so this is how it ends. Like,
oh, boy.
But he came back, but I was just like, what the? Yeah. I'm like, man, I'm having such a good time, and you had to leave your bag. Like, what's going on? My mind's going all crazy.
Right.
Like, what's in the bag? What's in the box?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
You can just barely see through it, a little red light blinking. It's getting faster.
Yeah. I'm like, sir? Yeah. So were you a big midnight screening fan before all this happened?
So I'm a huge midnight screening fan.
Really?
Unfortunately, I realized, and it was either Green Lantern or the very first Avengers movie.
Yeah.
Where it was the last time I did it because I realized how old I am.
Yeah.
And, you know, like the next day at work was just, that was completely worthless. You know? So, I mean, it was just, I love them. I think they're fun. I think they're cool, you know, and I saw Joker on Thursday, but it was a 7:30 show, not a midnight show. And
sure.
So, yeah, I wish I was young enough to be able to do that again, you know, but yeah, I'm too old.
Well, did they start screening the movie for the first time earlier because of all this?
And that's a great question. Maybe.
Because I didn't really notice it until after that went down.
Yeah. Now
that you can see a movie before it comes out on a Friday, like 6 o'clock or so night before.
Yeah.
It's not at midnight.
Right.
I definitely had one of my first experiences going to a midnight one was X-Men 2.
Yeah.
That was great. It was just kind of a thrill, like, ooh, I'm out late, and, you know.
Well, when Jennifer was an assistant manager at a movie theater, we do midnight screenings all the time, but it was just us and some friends.
Yeah.
You know, and we'd watch a film the day before it came out.
Right.
You know, that was always cool.
That was fun. I got to do that once when Joey worked at the theater. Yeah, I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
Like, screener.
We had pizza and we're just chilling and eating, you know, and watching Independence Day the day before it comes out. It was pretty cool.
And, you know, just regarding the show, I've tried to, like, become like get the screenings, whatever.
Yeah.
And they don't offer them around here.
Yeah.
So, I wish we could get reviews out there sooner. But
right.
Yeah, the whole security thing. When you went to see it, you actually had protection.
Right. So on Thursday night, there was a police officer inside, standing right outside the theater door, you know, and that was the first time I've seen the managers also attend the door at a screening for anything.
Right.
Usually you get your ticket, you get past the popcorn area, and you're on your own to get to the theater and go in and find your seat. Yeah, so it was fairly well guarded.
This was IMAX.
This was at IMAX,
yeah.
and so it was weird, but I think about location, and I think that obviously anybody can snap and lose their cool, but
can happen anywhere.
It can happen anywhere, but the propensity of it happening and the risk of it happening in a place like where we saw the movie,
right,
is so insanely low that I saw him after we left and stuff in that little room off the side, and it didn't bother me at all.
Yeah.
I mean, I work in a place where we have a police officer working in the lobby, so I mean, it just doesn't.
Do you recall there was a sign up about restrictions, like don't wear makeup to this, cosplay?
I didn't see that.
Yeah, I didn't really see it either.
Someone, I can't remember if it was Claire or Jennifer, had seen someone in full Joker. Jennifer had seen someone like a couple hours before that in full Joker makeup. So obviously they were going to the movie at some theater, but yeah, they were all dressed up.
Cops drug him into a bathroom, and rinsed his face
right
in the sink, in the toilet.
Just, give him a, that's hilarious.
Came out all disheveled. Ready for the movie.
Laughing like the Joker.
Yeah.
And that'd be even more
just
creepy.
Club him right. In front of you. Like, carry on. Yeah. Joey said that the cop at his theater looked annoyed.
Like, why am I here?
Like, what the hell?
Where'd he go? What theater?
I don't know, actually. Probably Jordan Creek, I imagine. Yeah. But yeah, my screening last night, no, there's no security.
No.
They didn't care about us.
Yeah, I think they
You're on your
realized.
own. Although, if there was like a shooting to take place, how they got the seating now, you have a wall you can actually duck behind.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah. And my mind does go there, like, what if that went down? Like, how the hell am I going to get out of here?
But is that wall reinforced enough depending on
probably
the fact
not.
that, right,
I go right through. As I get hit, like, that was a bad idea. Yeah.
It'd slow it down.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Yeah, there's a lot of steps in the IMAX.
A lot of steps. And
come on up.
Yeah.
Shit, it's a workout getting up there.
Right. And they have the exit upstairs, too.
Yeah.
So
I was kind of shocked that Joker was playing at the IMAX because I don't know if it was shot in IMAX. It is, I mean, it's breathtaking to see that screen either way. But yeah, we're very, very lucky to have that here finally in the.
And I love that so much better than the Dome version.
Yeah. I can't go back to that. I just can't.
I know, I saw it once and I'm like, I mean, I was used to the one at Henry Dorley Zoo where it's just kind of like ours. It's just huge and big. And
yeah, the Dome was my first introduction to IMAX. I thought that's what IMAX was for many years.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, there actually is screen. I'm like, what?
I went to the Dome and I'm just like, I'm just going to take a nap. I don't want to look around all this.
Well, they warn you there about motion sickness, but at the regular IMAX, they don't talk about that at all. Yeah. So it's just
crazy.
Yeah, it's a great view, that's for sure. Yeah, let's get into the Joker film. We'll start with non-spoilers. What were your thoughts before and after, I guess?
So before, so many people are always... There's been iconic Joker actors, Nicholson, Ledger...
Leto. I'm just kidding.
Or controversial.
There you go. Actors. Good way to save that. Good PR move.
Right. So, yeah. But Joaquin Phoenix, he's an actor.
Mm-hmm.
I was not at all worried that he wouldn't do this role justice, just because of his talent.
Mm-hmm.
So I was very excited, to see it. And, so going in, I had that. And I am easy to please when it comes to movies generally, but this movie was phenomenal. I mean, I walked out of it just, holy smokes.
Yeah.
It was unreal. And I knew as I left, I said, this is going to be very polarizing for critics,
mm-hmm.
And I can see that, but,
yeah, some love it. Some hate it.
I haven't seen. It was an okay movie.
Yeah,
I've seen Brilliant, and I've seen this is just.
It's hard to tell anymore if they just want
glorifies
to go against the,
right.
Go against the curve or whatever. Like,
yeah,
I didn't like it.
Right.
And Rotten Tomatoes can kiss my what, but
right.
I guess that's not high right now. But like I said, I don't really care what they.
Yeah,
think.
was it 70% last time I saw?
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's crazy,
but yeah, and and I think less about that than I do like a place like IMDb, where, you know, it's just user rated. I'm pulling it up right now,
Sure.
actually.
Recently with the Rotten Tomatoes, the audience numbers have been like complete opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in the Joker on IMDb, 81,571 ratings at 9.1 out of 10.
Wow.
So I'm pretty sure the fans are enjoying it. The people who
I'd
are
say
seeing
so.
it. So that's crazy high. You
People
know,
are
that's really
intrigued.
good.
They're going to go see it, and they're not going to really... Yeah, they'll be critical, but they're going to go there to have a good time.
Right.
Hopefully not be inspired.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
If only to be inspired to think, let's say.
Well, and that's
some
just,
of it.
that's what that movie was to me,
Mm-hmm.
was a kind of a wake-up call,
Exactly.
you know, and to encourage people to think and to, you know, and maybe to get into some of the details of the movie, if that's okay.
Warning, if you haven't seen the movie yet, please do so and come on back. Otherwise, we'll be going into spoiler territory now.
His notebook, his journal,
Yes.
you know, had all sorts of craziness in it, you know, but the one line that stuck out was, the worst part about having a mental illness is people expect you to behave as if you don't.
Right.
You know, and that's, if there's anything that's cutting from a societal tone, there it is.
Yeah.
Right there. That's what that movie is really encompassing.
What is normal?
Yeah, you know, and you know, there's people look at mental illness with shame. You know, they don't look at it as something that they should correct, you know, and, oh, hey, here's your pill. You should be fine now, you know, or just get over it. That's not how it works. And this film, I don't think it glorified incels. I don't think it glorified violence. I think it glorified that society needs to wake the hell up and take a stronger look at mental illness.
Exactly.
You know? So I mean, I thought the picture was brilliant.
Yeah, that's definitely the message I got. You're not agreeing with his actions, but it's basically like, if mental health is unchecked, anarchy can ensue, and it affects oneself, and it spreads like a virus. It can, you know,
Right.
especially with rioting and all that, you know, unstable people, let's say. In our state alone, we, I mean, I'm not trying to get political or anything, but we've closed down a lot of mental institutions, and
Yeah.
that's not good. That's a big step backwards. I'd
No,
say.
yeah, people don't care about mental illness like they do anything else.
Right.
You know, it's something to be shunned.
Yeah, because they're just out of touch,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the problem. You should try to level with people who are on a different, you know,
Yeah.
frequency, let's say,
Right.
and kind of come to a agreement, not put them down, you know, with hate.
Right.
You know, try to understand where they're coming from and come up with a solution. You know,
Yeah.
it's kind of like a negotiation in a way. I don't know, not a negotiation, but, you know, just a common ground.
Right.
There's always a common ground.
Right.
Whether you want to
And-
get there or not, that's the next question.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's definitely what I took from it. And yeah, I don't think at all it, you know, made it violence look great.
Right.
You know, like his decisions, I think you saw how he got there, but once he got there, I didn't at all have any sympathy really at that stage, because, you know, you become a
Yeah.
murderer. You know, society has already failed you, and sadly, you're now out of control. It's their bad, really. And
Exactly.
also it's he didn't have the best parent.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah. And that, you know, that shows another piece of the whole puzzle, you know, how
Sure.
important upbringing is and how important all that stuff is put together. And,
Absolutely.
you know, as the movie went on, you found out more and more about his childhood and some of the trauma that was, you know, that was there for him then. And, you know, he never had a chance.
No, not really.
He really
No.
didn't,
No,
you know.
not at all. But, you know, I applaud the film. It literally looks like they went back in time. It's shockingly good.
Yeah.
Like, it looks like 70s, 80s New York.
Right.
Not to say I know what that looks like, but just from watching old movies, especially like Scorsese films, which this has kind of been inspired by in many ways. It's like Taxi Driver kind
Right.
of. It's got a lot of similarities to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it only cost $55 million to make. It's shocking how good it looked. You know, it's
That and the quality of the writing
yeah,
doesn't cost money.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is proof that you don't need to spend $200-300 million on a movie,
Right,
to have people walk out of it with their minds blown.
and it only had like 2 writers. The director is one of them.
Yeah.
Todd Phillips, I believe, and someone else. A lot of cooks in the kitchen are not really a good thing. And
No.
that happens a lot.
No, this was a vision movie, and the vision was kept. It doesn't smell like the studio interfered with this movie very much, if at all.
Probably because of the budget, hopefully.
And for Warner to not, stick their stupid nose into something,
Yeah.
it was very impressive.
Right.
And maybe it's because it's been hailed as a one-off the entire time.
Right.
And that's fine. I don't know that this needs to go beyond a one-off. I don't think there's nothing left to tell with this. So, so good for them. But, just even using the old Warner logo at the beginning, was
like
just
when they
an
do that.
awesome touch,
Yeah.
So this movie was like going right back to the early 80s, and it
All
was
the
just,
fonts were like old style.
everything.
Yeah, it was like it was made back and they really did a good job, I thought. I didn't really catch anything that like technology wise was not inserted properly.
Right.
Like everything looked pretty accurate. He's smoking like all the time, which that's what they used to do.
Yeah.
I recall seeing like old office equipment, when I started working in an office, they're trying to get rid of it and it had all the tar stains, and that's what I was thinking the whole time when he was talking to people. Like, my God, all that stuff's got to be caked.
Right.
in this
Exactly.
shit. So gross.
Yeah, we moved into an apartment once, just very quick sidebar, and the prior tenant smoked, and just washing the windows, it was like yellow on the, it was gross.
Yeah. Well, when my parents bought my grandparents' house, my grandparents were smokers, they repainted like, right when we moved in.
You have to.
I remember the night we moved in, I was in my bedroom, and they were painting out in the living room late. Yeah.
It's caked into the walls. You got
not a good look.
It's not. But
not a good condition to live. Yeah.
But it was just the film was I thought it was brilliant.
Sure.
But, I also knew after I saw it, because generally I'm not as quick as you guys are, so I always tend to try to wait. But that next day I'm like, well, I want to see what people are saying.
I saw it before I did. I was, I was like, whoa.
And so I was, so I went online and I was kind of reading reviews, and they were just one extreme to the other, praise or hatred. So
the production and set design, the locales were incredible. That whole staircase or those stairs leading up to his apartment, like that view, like, man, like all of that was beautiful. Like,
it was shot.
It's like you never seen something like that before, and it was real.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think there's a lot of CG used.
No, they weren't in front of a green screen at all.
Yeah.
Do you know where it was filmed?
I don't.
I'm going to look that up. I was just curious.
I don't know, because, man, like I said, it really looks like they went back in time.
Yeah.
Like, it's shockingly
It was just phenomenal.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I know that after the movie, we were all talking in the car on the way home, and my wife thought that he'd get nominated for an Oscar for it, but wouldn't win.
I could see that.
He'd probably win like the Golden Globe.
Sure. Because of the controversy, you think, or just
that, and there's that role versus like Tom Hanks playing Mr. Rogers.
Oh, sure, yeah.
You might as well just. Why is everyone else trying this year?
Yeah.
I mean, and it's not necessarily because of Tom Hanks. I mean, he's a great actor.
Sure.
But he's playing Mr. Rogers. And everyone loves Mr. Rogers,
Right, right.
So.
And they explained his condition, which I thought was really. I don't know if they've ever. I don't think they have touched on this in a comic, but there actually is a condition, and I couldn't pronounce it. That's why I'm not saying it. But it's basically uncontrollable laughter when you're nervous or anxious, scared. So, like, all those scenes, like, knowing that he had that condition, I think was a good way to not maybe laugh at him. Because you take that out of the equation, you're like, man, he's so crazy.
Yeah.
But no, it's like he can't control it. And it, like he's trying to stop it, and it, like, hurts his throat. Like, it's crazy.
Right. And then you have the one scene that makes you question everything, where the guy makes the joke at his workplace, and he's going to go see his boss, and as he's leaving, he's laughing at the guy's joke and then just stops.
Yeah. Right. And I caught that from the trailer.
And so it was just
like all my predictions were pretty much out the window.
Yeah.
'Cause I thought he was told he should laugh or something, and that's why it was such an act. But yeah, that whole rapport with the clowns, that whole lifestyle, you know? And yeah, everyone pretty much treats him like shit. Even the guy who gives him the gun. Yeah. In the beginning, you're like, oh, he actually cares about him. No, he's basically just trying to set him up to get him fired. Yeah.
You know, I mean, he had no...
I'm like, were they giving guns away back in the day with
he had no
bag?
Friends, you know.
No, he didn't.
I have a whole bag. I have a whole closet full of guns and bags.
Paper sacks.
Here's
some bullets.
Right. Just randomly.
Oh, that's a battery. That way.
Double A battery.
Yeah. Yeah, and of course, I thought just from the previews, like I thought his mom was like someone good,
right,
for him, and he was a caring son, and he took care of her. But then, and
then he finds out the truth about his mom and his past, and that went out the window.
Yeah, well, and you know, obviously we're in spoiler territory, but she reveals in the letter that he caught, because she keeps talking about Thomas Wayne. She used to work for them, and if he knew how they were living, he would help, and da-da-da-da. And the whole time I was like, I think I'm right, and so are a lot of other people. And I'm like, Steve, I already knew you liked the movie, but I'm like, how do you accept this? But then it takes a turn later on. The letter revealed that Thomas is his father. Right. I was like, Arthur Wayne. Okay, interesting. Very interesting. I kind of was all right with it, but then they totally change it down the road where he's trying to get a hold of Thomas Wayne or something?
He wanted to go meet him and talk to him, and
that didn't go well.
It didn't go well.
Well, he first went to Bruce.
Right.
That was really creepy.
That was as creepy as it gets.
Grabbed his face and made him smile. We've seen that from the preview. Was that big dude Alfred, you think, with the beard?
I think it was.
Did he? I can't recall if he had an English accent or not.
I think he did.
Yeah.
But I think that was meant to be the Alfred character.
Right. I like how they didn't really go into the Batman mythos too much. Like, it was just enough for the kid to say, I'm Bruce.
Just enough, yeah.
Yeah, you didn't need like, oh, come here, Master Bruce.
Right,
Alfred, what are you doing?
Yeah, they didn't force feed everybody.
Not really. It was just kind of peppered in there, you know, rightfully so. You don't need to just hammer it in. Basically, his whole life was a lie. His mom was crazy, just like Thomas Wayne said. Right. Because Thomas Wayne denied he was his father and then punched him. Yeah. Because he had that laughing condition. That's the other thing that sucks about that condition is he's got this card and he was trying to whip the card out and he couldn't do it. Yeah. In time. Because Thomas just socked him right in the face. Yeah. So him finding out the truth, stealing that file, didn't help. He almost got the file and then...
Yeah, at the mental hospital, he went and found his mom's file.
Yes.
Stole it and then finds out that Thomas Wayne is not his father.
He's adopted,
He's adopted, yeah.
And he's had a history of abuse. His mom was abused, but she's also crazy. And Arthur was found tied to a radiator.
And, you know,
head trauma.
Completely head trauma, malnourished. I mean, the whole thing. I mean...
So he probably didn't have that condition naturally. It just happened through...
just abuse and torture, basically.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, and I was really shocked when the funding got cut because it's all a build-up. The whole movie's a build-up, you know. Was it the garbage men are striking? There's trash on the streets. It's just really getting shitty out there. You got Thomas Wayne talking about fixing things. You know, he's not really portrayed in the best light.
No, he's
out
kind
of
a
touch.
jerk.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, and he calls everyone clowns.
Right.
And basically doesn't try to get to their level. Not to say like you have to listen to all these.
Yeah, he had no empathy at all.
Yes.
But looked at himself as the one who was going to save everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, I mean, it really flipped the script on
kind of set up
what that looks
Bruce's
like.
psyche in a way, but Bruce did it wisely.
Right.
Who knows if they ever go back to this world because it's a one-off. Would that Batman be different? Would the Batman be killing people? You know, it's like
he'd be more Frank Miller Batman.
Probably, yeah. I could definitely see that. But yeah, they cut funding for mental health basically, and Arthur's cut off from. He's on 7 medications, which I was just thinking like I don't think they could do that now with laws, but back then or in the movie. I'm not saying this is a historical piece, but I definitely could see it easily back in the day.
Well, even then they didn't have the regulations that they have today, so
it's kind of viewed as a privilege, maybe cosmetic, whatever.
maybe,
yeah,
and
we can just cut you off, you'll be fine.
But even so, the overall event is still pretty accurate today. You know, fundings get cut. You know, in Iowa, we've seen, like you said, you know, we've seen mental health facilities be shut down left and right. You know, and the attention on mental health is just, it's absolutely secondary because no one wants to talk about it.
Right.
Yet, you know, the most mentally ill person in the country is running our country. So, you know,
Yes.
there you go.
Exactly. The Jokers, this was a concept introduced in Batman Beyond. From my standpoint, we get followers of the Joker in this film. So I really saw them, I don't know if it was intentional, but they borrowed a lot from what we've seen already, even though this is its own story. De Niro's death is very similar to a talk show host's death in Dark Knight Returns. I saw that coming. I was like, this isn't going to end well.
Oh, yeah, you knew it wouldn't.
Yeah.
It was a matter of how, you know, not if. You knew it was going to happen.
De Niro was a dick, though. I mean, I don't think Johnny Carson ever did things like that, like find a shitty comedian and exploit him. Maybe he did. I
Not
don't know.
really, but I mean, what De Niro did isn't anything different than what they do today on talk shows.
True. I mean, Kimmel himself embarrassed, I guess, Joaquin. I don't know if it's an act. I haven't seen the clip, but he got an outtake, and it's kind of a Bell moment because, you know, Joaquin's he's a thespian, you know, and
he's method all the way.
Yeah, exactly. Can you imagine him and Bale in a movie?
Oh boy,
they'd be competing with their methods, you know. This would be crazy.
I wouldn't even want to be on that set.
No, not at all. The outbursts and stuff.
But yeah, De Niro did a great job.
He did. You know,
he's well, of course he can read the phone book and make it sound interesting, you know. But his character wasn't. It was just everyone was a reflection of what society is, you know. I mean, you know, De Niro was kind of the semi-bully a-hole, you know, just poking some fun, and you know, maybe wasn't the worst, you know, because then you have like the parent, the mom, you know, that's horrible. You have the social worker who doesn't care. You're seeing almost every facet of society actually being represented in a negative light,
like the worst cases possible.
And then we see the result of that. It all led to a snap.
And that condition,
got
him into the snap with the guys on the subway,
right? Because he'd already been repeatedly beat up and you know, going through everything.
Now he had a gun,
and you give a guy like that a gun, guess what's going to happen?
Right.
You know?
There are serious moments that are funny, and I mean, it's kind of demented. It is demented. The hospital scene where everything's looking great for him. He's performing for the kids. He brought the damn gun with him, and it comes out of his pants, and he picks it up, and I think the kids spotted it. I don't know if everyone did, but he was just kind of like, he did that gesture about keep it quiet, and then he's fired, of course. The
humor in it was that uncomfortable humor, but
and I think I was like, oh shit.
There was parts that, you know, you had to laugh at. It was uncomfortable,
but it never was like, oh, I'm totally rooting for this guy,
right?
I think people are getting that mixed up in what they're thinking of the film. Like,
well, that's just it. The people that would root for him are the people that the film was really made for. You know, the mental.
Those are the people to talk
issues,
to.
right?
That's probably what the film's goal is.
Exactly.
Like,
you
find
know,
these people. Right.
Find these people that like him, and let's get them in a room.
They should do a questionnaire after the movie. And were you okay with the outcome?
Right,
like, it was great. All right, come this way. Oh, there's a van. What's going on? Here's your jacket.
So exactly, but you know, so I don't think it glorified at all.
No. I mean, a lot of these violent threats are really propaganda, you could say. Not saying they're not entirely not valid.
Right.
You know, there is, of course, some caution. Definitely not a kid's movie. Would never say to bring your kid to it.
No.
But like I said before, Deadpool was more violent. It's just the tone that was used. The gun fires when you kind of don't expect it. Him in the apartment, I was like, this isn't going to end well.
Yeah, he didn't think it was going to fire either. It scared the crap out of him.
No. Did the Zazie Beetz twist shock you a little bit? I thought it was too easy for him to get with her. Because I thought, like, her impression of him when he kind of mimicked her shooting herself in the head didn't go off too well. And then that night he snaps, he walks to her apartment and kisses her. And
it's on.
Yeah.
All of a sudden they're together.
Okay, that's crazy. Is she okay? Does she know what he did?
No, but it's the conflagrance, the ability to create his own fictional universe and show it as his own reality
Yeah.
It's also indicative of mental illness.
And then when he's aware that it was all... Yeah, because the turn is when he comes to the apartment, she's like, you're Arthur, right? I'm like, oh, shit.
Yeah, none of this ever happened. Right, exactly. So... Yeah, that was... I don't know. The movie was riveting.
It sucked, because, I mean, not the movie.
Right.
It just sucked, you knew where it was going to go, obviously. And you did feel for him in some cases. But, yeah, once you start killing people, like the subway thing, he was justified with the first guy we were talking about. Sure. But then he goes to track down the other
the second you start running for someone.
Mm-hmm. And you're already shot.
Yeah, you've gone from self-defense to premeditation.
Yes.
So it's...
And he just kept shooting him, and then he just runs off. Like, that's probably why they made this film in that time setting, because now you have security cameras and all kinds of stuff. Like, they would find in an instant. Of course, we did have cops that were actually... And at first, when they walked up to him, I thought one of them was Gordon or something, But, they, I'm glad they didn't go there. Yeah. It would have been so easy to, and they didn't. And I applaud him for doing that. Him killing his mom. Yeah, she's not the mother of the year, but damn, that's a terrible way to go, because beginning of the film, it's like he loves her, and then he's just like,
well, it's the ultimate betrayal.
Burn it all down, pretty much.
Yeah. You feel bad for people in those situations, but you're right. I mean, you don't just because you feel bad doesn't mean that you exemplify the solution that he chose.
Right. Like, I think the mom should have got punished, not killed.
Right.
But it was probably too late. She's already dying. And...
She's dying anyway.
Yeah.
She'd have been dead in days.
Right.
The way it looked like in the movie.
Right.
But,
because as he beats, the illusion said she's going to be fine.
Mm-hmm.
So that goes to show you, like, she really wasn't.
Yeah, that's him creating that.
Right. Exactly.
She's gorgeous, by the way.
Yeah.
Man. She's
she was in
striking.
Deadpool, too.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, she's a great actress. That was a good character. I don't know if it was... I think the only reason why she was in it was maybe just to show in his mind he ended up getting a love interest.
Right.
But then it was taken away. So I'm just glad that her kid wasn't harmed. I like that whole scene in the apartment.
her or her kid. Like, right, exactly.
Yeah. So...
And it showed you his code, though, too, in a way.
In a way, yeah.
I mean, they didn't wrong him personally.
Yeah.
Just like the little guy.
Yeah.
He let him go.
Tense. Yes.
Right? That scene was tense. Kissed him on the forehead. I mean, I thought 30 times this guy was going to die in different ways.
Oh, yeah. Because,
he
put the chain on the door, and I was like, he's going to give him hope.
Yeah.
And at first I'm like, oh my gosh, it's happening. And then he gets up, and you're like, oh. Yeah. And then he opens the door, and then he closes it again.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, oh God, don't do this.
Exactly.
And then he lets him go, and I'm like, wow, he had a lot of time to put all that stuff on before the cops came. Because then, Joker's officially born.
Yep.
Yeah, I think the makeup's really cool effect. It's something different. I love the suit.
Yeah.
A lot of criticisms have been this is too much like Taxi Driver. It borrows a lot from Scorsese. And I do understand that, but it's like when you're pitched something like, if you say Batman gets dropped off in the jungle and he fights a predator-like creature. Yeah, you could say that's a knockoff or whatever.
Right.
But it is intriguing. It does get your mind going like, what if you put a character like that with another character similar?
Yeah.
So with that said, you could say it's a copy of Cuckoo's Nest. I think that was another thing they related to, or King of Comedy. But it put that character in that setting, which I think is the interest. There.
And it makes it original.
Yes.
Right. I mean, you can't make a mob movie without comparing it to The Godfather or Sopranos.
Exactly.
There's always going to be a similarity somewhere, and that's okay.
It's like, there's feast scenes, and then there's killing.
Right.
And then there's good jokes, funny jokes. It's like,
Star Trek and Star Wars are the same because there's lasers. It's lazy thinking.
Right. Overall, I thought the film was good. I thought it was great. It really made you think, and I think that's something we need more these days. And sadly, the superhero genre films attract more people now, because it's kind of like like what Scorsese said about theme parked movies. Like, it's kind of a shoo-in. You're gonna get your money's worth. You're gonna have a good time. You're not gonna be challenged or take a chance, and the movie doesn't turn out to be something good.
And people don't want to be challenged,
right? So they actually try to make. They take the Joker out of the equation, and they made this film. I don't think it would get as much attention, obviously, with moviegoers. And so it is interesting to see, especially come award season, like what's it going to look like. I definitely see the art direction being plotted. You know, it was very, very good. And
you know, people, they look at Thanos like he was one of the better villains in recent history.
Yeah.
You know, but then when you look at him, even compared to the Joker, it's...
Yeah, I mean, it's clearly a cartoon version.
Right.
But yeah, I'm not dismissing what they did with Thanos. I think it's very impressive. But yeah, totally different level of filmmaking. Mm-hmm. I mean, I would argue
it's apples and oranges. Really.
Yeah. I think it's all really cinema, but I get what Scorsese was saying. And the funny thing is, I thought he actually produced this Joker film, but I don't think he did. Couldn't find him.
I don't think he did either.
I thought in the beginning there was talk he was going to make the film, wanted to make the film, and then when De Niro came in, I thought, oh, this is what's going on. Yeah. But no, actually, I couldn't find him as a producer anywhere.
Interesting. Yeah.
So it was pretty shocking. That would kind of be a way to connect the dots. Like, well, of course he's saying MCU sucks because he's got this new film.
Right. It's for DC.
But he doesn't. So.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has no stake in the game.
No.
So...
No. And I get what he's saying. And, you know, you have these arguments with even Netflix. And, you know, it's like, well, it's this movie real cinema if it's not in a theater.
Right.
Although it's going to get some releases. Discussion always is key. Just like going back to the mental health thing. Like, have discussions. Don't assume everybody shouldn't have a voice or, you know, stand back. I got this. I'm a rich guy. I'm going to run things. And, you know, everything's going to be great.
I think Scorsese would like Marvel's Netflix series.
For sure.
You know, that's much less popcorny.
Yes.
You know, I mean, I bet he would love The Punisher.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure he would.
So
definitely recommend the film.
Yeah, I want to see it one more time in the theater. And then, of course, I want to buy it. But you know, it's not like Star Wars where I'll see it like 3 or 4 times in the theater just to try to get the experience overload. But I do want to see it one more time.
It's not one like binge. It's just kind of like, it is like an art house movie.
Yeah.
Something to collect, I think, and have it to be there, and it's something to show people.
Yeah, and I think it's important to watch every now and then something like that with that kind of a message. Mm-hmm. You know, because it's an important message that's not delivered today.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, and, you know, it's nothing wrong with being challenged and entertained at the same time.
Right, exactly.
You know? It's a good film, and I think eventually we'll all see it, and we can maybe, well, I'm sure we'll be talking more about it. There'll probably be more revelations after you see it again. Yeah. I don't know if I'll see it again in the theater, but that was kind of another thing I was, sadly, I was like, yeah, I think I'll be all right with this screening, because you have to pay $18 to see it in IMAX, and I don't see a guy who wants to do any harm paying that. It's like, oh, I have to have a budget, you know.
Yeah, I'll probably see it next time it's Jordan Creek.
Yeah.
Because I belong to their thing. And
same here. Yeah. It was cool to see on IMAX, but I was shocked it was put on IMAX.
I love their popcorn.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And the dome thing. Oh, yeah. Fridley Theaters, check them out. Especially if you're in Iowa, obviously.
Yeah, no kidding.
Fly in if you want to just check them out.
Fly in, it's actually worth it. No, that theater's great.
It's awesome. Yeah. Well, that's pretty much all I have. You have any recommendations for people?
Yikes. So
The Joker?
The Joker, you see that.
Easily.
I know Blacklist season, I think 6 came out on Netflix.
Cool.
Just recently, so getting back into that, that's always a fun show. Otherwise, it's been pretty quiet. I know Batwoman controversially is premiering tomorrow night.
Yes, I will watch it.
I have it set to record. I know. I mean, I love the comic and the character in the comic.
Sure,
it's just phenomenal. So I'm hoping it translates. We'll see.
I hope so,
but who knows? But otherwise, I
just make the material good.
Make the material good.
I think we all understand what the character is, and don't shoehorn it in so much. I think that's what people get turned off with, and just want good material, you know.
Yeah, don't
and don't blame if it's not successful. If the material's bad, I'm saying.
Don't lead me. Yeah. Let me be the judge of the material.
Exactly. Right. Don't preach. I will. Yeah. I'll come to my own. Just like with the Joker.
Right.
You know, you're not told constantly mental health is important. It's like we all come to that understanding and assurance. But yeah, I saw Shaft recently, the 2019 Samuel Jackson Shaft.
Oh, nice.
Which is funny because we now have 3 Shaft movies called Shaft. He was in the 2001. I wanted to see this in the theater. It's about him and his son, basically, taking on the crime. It's very humor-based.
Nice.
I enjoyed it. It's a Shaft film. I'm not saying Shaft isn't a huge cinema experience.
Sure.
But I did enjoy it, and I will buy it for my collection. I remember after I saw the 2000 Shaft, I was really intrigued by the whole, because they include the original Shaft, so it's a universe, really, and I like that. So I went out and bought each of the original Shaft movies, not as a set. I bought one at a time.
Right,
I enjoyed it, and I wanted to see the other one, and that's just how I.
Young Christian Bale.
Yes, in the 2000 one. Yeah, it's really cool to see so many films back in the day. World Trade Center, Nick Cage film. John Barenthal, who played the Punisher, he's one of the actors in the scene with him, and he doesn't really talk much. And it's just cool. It's just like, wow, there's so many people have been discovered. But
it's pretty interesting.
Definitely go check that out. Shaft, I think it's pretty good. I did pick up. I'm gonna regret this probably because I know Joey. I had so much high hopes for this film, Holmes and Watson, the Will Ferrell.
Oh yeah.
Oh gosh. John Riley,
right?
Is that how's
John C. Riley?
John C. Riley. See, I was like, something's off. I was like, oh, this is so great. I love Sherlock Holmes. I love these guys. It comes out and it bombs, and usually you're like, well, it's just critics. No, a lot of people have said it was terrible. Joey didn't like it. I bought it for $5.99 at Family Video, so I'll probably regret it. But anyway,
at least it was just $5.99.
Yeah, reviews coming. Maybe I'll just smoke a cigarette.
Just forget it never happened. And,
yeah. So
I do that about my life a lot.
I'm gonna regret this. Number 4, please.
Pretend it never happened.
Why do I do this?
Right.
Sip.
Well,
with that said, we'll be back. I'm Josh.
I'm Steve.
Take care.